Now, there are fears in some quarters, that this plan or the panels could lead to the imposition of Sharia law on non-Muslims and also undermine the secular nature of Nigeria. Can you please react to this?
Thank you. First of all, I would like to say that the issue is not about establishing Sharia court in Southwest. What we are talking about is Sharia arbitration panel, but maybe because of deliberate misinformation or ignorance, that's why people here and there shouting imposition of Sharia law or Sharia court in Southwest Nigeria. It is never about Sharia court, but Sharia arbitration panel. And when we're talking about arbitration panel, arbitration generally is one of the methods of alternative dispute resolution. And in this sense, arbitration panel is a process whereby neutral individuals are chosen to resolve a conflict between two or more parties. And when we include the word Sharia, it means we are talking about resolving the conflicts in line with Sharia principle. That is, if the parties involved are Muslims and they are willing to use Sharia principles, because it is not something that we can force on any Muslims. It is willingly. Even someone is a Muslim and is not willing to use the panel to resolve conflict, nobody can force him, not to talk of non-Muslims. And this panel we are talking about is there to look into the issue of the civil and marital issues among Muslims. And this is a command in the Quran, the holy book of the Muslim, the Quran chapter 49, verse 9, that if two or more parties are quarrel, if there is a quarrel between two or more parties among the believers, we must make peace between them. And that is what we are trying to practice according to Section 38 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which allow every person, either alone or in community of people, to practice his religion and to practice his faith. And the politics there is this: whenever we are talking about, Islam, we are not talking about Hausa Fulani. We are not talking about North. Islam has been established in Southwest Nigeria as far back as 16th century. I could remember vividly that the first mosque in Lagos State here, let's not go far, was built in Lagos Island, Idoluwo Mosque, in 1775. So if people could come together and say, let's build our mosque, it means that Muslims have been living in that community for decades before they can come out together to build their mosque. So, and there is no way Muslim will be in a settlement without them practicing Sharia. You cannot pray without Sharia. You cannot fast without Sharia. And that is why there's one common saying among the Yorubas. They will say, Agbesin magbofin, Ota Olorun. Accepting Islam without the rules, enemy of God, is because they understand what is Sharia as far back as then.
Your Highness, let's talk about this issue of Sharia in the Western region. Now, there are persons in some of the states that are saying, well, Sharia has been in Yoruba land since the 14th century. And in any case, it's a personal orthodoxy. It's not something that is compulsory for everybody. It's not a legal orthodoxy. So if there are some people who say, well, we want to be governed by the Sharia orthodoxy. Shouldn't they be allowed? They have the freedom of choice, freedom of faith, but most Yoruba groups, a number of groups are now saying, no, there must be no Sharia in the southwest of Nigeria. I said, I have discussed this. If not, what's your opinion?
Dr. Abati, has anybody in Southwest requested for Sharia? Because that's where to start.
Well, the story
This is
in
my
the
house.
The story is in the papers.
And then you,
that some Islamic groups
no.
in the southwest want the Sharia.
Requested for Sharia?
The story is in the papers.
Requested for Sharia. Look, some groups, notable groups in Southwest requested for Sharia.
Yes.
Now look.
That's why some other groups are
saying... We
all
know what is happening, Dr. Abati. Dr. Abati. Dr. Abati. We know what is happening, and we are ready for it. We know 27 to 2027 is at the corner, and we know what's happening, and we're ready for it. IFNFR is 72 years old. There's no political organization that is as old as IFNFR in this country. So we understand the terrain. We know the terrain. We know the terrain. When you start doing these things, we know what you want to do, and we get ready for you. We're not talking about Sharia. We're talking about 2027. We know it. You cannot destabilize our home under one certain pretext and want us to stand back and watch you doing it. We will not allow it. If you intend to destabilize Saturday, we say, no, you can't do it. You can't come to another man's home and tell him how to worship. You cannot go to another... I mean, look, there's Akwa Ibom. They do Christmas carol every year. You see them, the governors, everybody starts singing, and then you go to that place and you want to say, you want to do Sharia. And you want to undo, you say, yeah, they say, yes, they can film. No. They won't try. Nobody will allow it. This is our home, and this is what we do here. We are the most understanding tribe in nation. I would say nation Nigeria, yes. Religious tolerance is everybody pride out for it. And we are not going to let somebody derive off of that. We know what is happening in other parts of the country because of religion. We are not that in this part of the country. And we are not going to allow anybody to introduce it to us. We will not. It's as simple as that.